All right, so we got the truck and we got to get this thing done. Why? Because we're under the time crunch. Not that it's really necessary, this could be cleaned off, but it's steel. So anything that the surface has been compromised, where the welds are, all of that, it's going to rust. And we had that happen to the other trucks. We let it sit too long, and I don't want it to happen to this one. So what I'm going to do, if you saw the previous video, or one of the previous videos, I did the final, or I had you guys help me choose the final designs. We've got now the final designs. I'll put the poll in the description for what we're going to end up doing with Ferretti Force 1, Speed Force 1, Spaghetti Force 1. Who knows what the hell it's going to be called. But there's 3 designs for you to choose from. I'll go with whatever gets the most votes. Bodie McBoatface. Let's think, whatever. It's my dog, by the way. I put him up here so he can't run away. I'm going to rhino line the bed. That's going to actually happen like sooner rather than later, probably the first relatively warm day we have this week. So it'll be a white rhino lining if that's a thing. I think it is. The other issues I have with this truck is I don't get why people modify trucks. And this truck has a Scorcher on it. Scorcher, that's a tuning software. So they left me the book for it to let me know that it was tuned, but they didn't leave me the tool to turn the tune off, which is useless. So I was like, all right, well, I want to return it back to stock. So when we were driving back from Tennessee, which I also put a GPS tracker in this thing, you could see all the little red marks on the map. That's when we were going over 80, which is cool because the speed limit was like 70, so it wasn't really a big deal. Our peak speed was 86, but this thing drives nice. The problem is, when we got back to Harrisburg, which is about 10 hours into it, 11 hours into the trip, the thing started like bouncing up and down. And I figured we had a tire pressure issue. I figured one of the 4 rear tires was flat, and that would cause it to be just a wobbly wheel, and that would have resulted in the truck sort of feeling that vibration. And when I say vibration, like you're trying to hold your cell phone and it's bouncing up and down. And ultimately we pulled over, we checked the tire pressures, they were all fine. It ended up being the engine. It's in the tune. So whatever was in the tune was, maybe it was bad gas or whatever it was. I'm going to return it back to stock. And I don't know how to return it back to stock without buying one of these, but then this thing was like $450. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy a $450 tuner to return my car back to stock. And I can't imagine a tuner would ever be returnable, because otherwise somebody would buy a tuner, tune their car, and then ship the damn thing back. So I'm going to bring it to the dealership. Unless you guys know a way to do it, I'm going to bring it to a dealership and ideally return the truck back to stock. I don't know why people bother. It's a pickup truck. It's like, why, if you're taking it off road, great. If you're designing it for a specific purpose, but putting that big ass exhaust on it, and which is now gone, by the way, it's in the truck. So if anyone wants a metal militia can for the back of their truck, you let me know. Email rob@superspeeders.com. Or if you know how to return this back to stock without me going to the dealership and then probably paying them $175 for the hour to plug my shit in and push one button, which may end up being the case. I've also got the problem with this truck that I did not do what I tell everyone to do. And I tell everyone, when you buy something, change all the fluids if you don't have service records. I didn't do that yet. So this truck's going to get a full fluid flush top to bottom. And then all we have to do is apply the paint design, and I think I'm going to paint it, not wrap it, as Ferretti Force 1. Then I've got to install the winch. I got this winch right here, which is a 4,500 pound winch, which I'm just going to put in here for now. We've got the winch plate support in there, so that's good. This was only a couple $100 on Amazon. I think I paid like $200. Link in the description. It had good reviews, and good Amazon reviews mean something. I don't know what they mean, but that's got to be done. The bed, I got to get rid of this. I brought it back. I was going to leave it in Kentucky, but Jeff, the guy who was doing the roll cages and everything like that, said, yeah, I got a guy who wants to buy the bed. So I'm like, all right, I'll bring it back. And that turned into a headache, because that estimate for the Ford Fusion that the truck backed into was $1,600. And I'm like, geez, it's a 2011 Ford Fusion with 210,000 miles on it. The car's worth $2,500 retail. And now I got to write a check for $1,600, which sucks, but that's Wreck-It Ricky for you. It's got the reinforcement in there for the winch. So all I got to do is mount the winch right there. Once I paint the deck, mount the winch, paint the outside, do the service, put a new oil cap on, because I took the oil cap off of my Corvette. You'll see that in another video. And last but not least, we got to get to the interior. And that's the paint on the truck is going to go pretty easy. Hopefully stuff like this can be fixed without a new door. If it needs a new door, then we get a new door. But hopefully that could be fixed. That's the only real trouble spot, like compromise spot. Everything else is just like semi-crappy paint. And then I'm going to get a new front bumper, because the front bumper is shit. At least the upper portion of the front bumper. The lower portion actually doesn't look bad, but the upper portion sucks. Probably get rid of the front plate, because who needs one of those? And we'll get this party started. So that's where we're at with this truck. We're going to rhino line the bed, which I remember when we painted the other bed, this guy did it for like $1,000 on site. And we thought it was really cheap, and it was really cheap. And he's like, wow, I didn't realize how much labor and time it was going to be. Rhino lining this, when I say rhino lining, any equivalent textured surface that's white will keep this from rusting out. It'll look nice. The only concern I had was white, black tires, but we'll see what happens. I think when I looked online that the cans of the stuff is like $40 a gallon or something like that. It'll use 2 or 3 gallons, so if it's $120 in a roller, that's not the biggest deal. But then we're done. I got to get the interior. I got to put the new radio in. What else do we have here? I would open up the door, but new side mirrors, because I got to get the tow mirrors. The new radio. Got to put the espresso machine in. The USB ports. I want to put a new carpet in. Just spruce up the interior a little bit, maybe new leather on the driver's side seat, but then we are completely finito. Ferretti Force 1 is going to be done, ready, and I'm going to have this thing absolutely done, ready to roll, hopefully by Christmas, but I'm going to be towing around the Project Evo, because Hurricane Evo coming back at you. That's going to be my winter project. While I get the Corvette done for the Project Car Challenge, Hurricane Evo is going to be happening. I don't know what the deadline is for that. I just want to sort of like beat Rob Dom's car from being ready, which, I mean, to be fair, my car is just an absolute, and Siobhan's car is an absolute just bare shell right now. Bare shell and seized motor and trans. So we are starting at bare zero. There is not one thing in there. There's nothing fit. There's nothing. So ideally, I'm hoping Rob has his car done by February, March. So that's the time frame on the Hurricane Evo. Jimbo's shaking his head because he doesn't think that's going to happen. But that's the time frame for the Evo. And if we can get that done, I'll be happy. I'm grabbing my dog, going inside. There's your truck update. I will see you tomorrow.